Klor aktor jungka Bollywood ujan Abraham ha kesngi toding ulaong bakatan stay lamingi kadonia kakabu kababiang taman penmi ke nong ialehkai football kibatepet ha kapertai bad ula penbena bakani ka football academy ke bethamai ha kathan kanlong kablo penkre ha kini ke arsnam ke banwan ha bakaran ha kijingilang pensngau thu pajba ban persya ya udrok halor kapang pulse of the hills every beat against drugs kabala penlong dak Sarkar Meghalaya rangkat gejing trailang bat ka drug reduction elimination and action mission ujan Abraham ulaong bau yoi yakani kathan kum kalaway jong ka football ha kari India ulaong ru bakathan stay lamingi kedai ke jaka ka ba ka football ka paunam bha Shushu ula benrap da kebaong ba ukwa ban yoi ya Ronaldo ni ya Messi ban mi na kathan chetai lamingi kat ba unong aibu jong katanat social welfare ba polengdo ulaong ba kejingbei pisa ya ki kampen roy ke bedang ya chakmat na kebenta kisamla bat ya kejingtei ya ki ialehkai ki ba kentup ya ki academy ba ke stadium ke ba ulaong ba kandai ke stadium ke ba hetam hakari kandon hanong ba Shillong ulaong kathan kan sayo ya kalawai ke ba pernai kambha ban ya kasngi
Primarily, I play football in school. I captained my school, then my college. I went on to play first division football in Mumbai, but I could never make it to any place because in my time it was about education and not about sport, which is why today I've satiated my desire to play sport through my team, and my love for the Northeast has brought me here and to you beautiful people. So. And so on and so forth. Motorcycles has always been a part of my life. I think if I honestly had a wife and a girlfriend, it would be a motorcycle. You know, I love motorcycles and I think they're so beautiful. So I think I can ride better than I can walk. So that's why I love motorcycles. Fitness again, you know, and I say this, if I could stand, it's easier to talk to you guys. You know, fitness again, I've always been, Marvin, you know, fortunately, you know, I grew up in a very protected environment, so I probably had it way easier than you, and that's my easiest crutch. And I grew up with parents that were very protective about me, so I always wanted to be in control of my body and, you know, all the time. So fortunately for me, I've never touched alcohol in my life and, you know, never done any substance in my life. But, you know, saying that, I think it would be, you know, I think the way you fought your battle has taught me a lot. Not just about substance abuse, but how to fight my battles in life. So really, and you spoke so well and you spoke from your heart. I don't know why you needed a paper. You didn't need any paper. You're my hero. So you needed nothing. So you're fantastic. So fitness, sit down, my love, sit down, don't worry. So fitness, motorcycles, football, these are all passions that I've converted into, you know, professions, you know, things that I'd really like to go ahead in life with. I would like to see, you all understand football and I've said this before, I'd love to see a Ronaldo or a Messi from India. And I'd love to see that Ronaldo and Messi happen from the Northeast because we are the hotbed of football in this country, which is why I am here. I come from a city that's very privileged, that's very comfortable, and I was given the option of getting a football team from there, but I chose to come here. I've always been in love with this region, and I really consider myself, you know, when I see you know, when I see stuff about actor, producer, it doesn't matter to me. What matters to me is I'm one of y'all, and we have a football team together. And I want to bring pride to the region. We won the Durand Cup twice. We have a game tomorrow. We also want to win the ISL. And I've let you down in the past, but hopefully now we've got a fantastic team. We've got some great players, and we really want to bring pride to this entire region and tell the rest of India that, listen, we're here. Don't ignore us. We're cooler than the rest of you, and we're going to do that through football. We're going to do that through football, and our players are shining examples of how you can excel. And the heroes of my team is my CEO Mandar and Rohit. They really work day in and day out to get the best kids together. We've got a baby league now. We've got an under 13 team, an under 15 team, under 18, a reserve team, and now a first team. So everything centers around my passion, and my passion is doing good for the country, doing great for the region, which is why I'm here with all of you all. And coming to Shillong and coming to this part of India, there's always a sense of pride, and more important, there's always a sense of belonging. And I feel somewhere in my past life, I don't know, I feel I belong here, and I'm very happy to be here, and I'm very honored to be here. So thank you for accepting me and listening to me patiently, and hopefully treating me like one of your own. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Ahead when you make money, or you become very cautious about your life. I became very cautious about my life, and I said, I should not lose my head whilst all around me are losing theirs. So when I came into the industry, the one thing, another substance or another drug, the biggest drug in our industry is not substance, it's fame. Fame is the biggest drug. And if you get consumed by fame, and if you have an attitude, and if you have an ego, and if you roam around with a bubble that everybody knows me, everybody loves me, and there is no one more important than me, so much so that I can reach an airport and skip every line, or I can show my face and bribe my way into certain functions where I'm not supposed to be there, that's where your problem starts. So I took control of myself from the start. I thank my mother and father. They're my, if I had to believe in a God, it would be my father. He gave me the best value systems, and I said, listen, I need to stay away from the indulgence of fame into my system, and I stayed clearly away from that. I don't have a problem with my industry, because I say this on record that my industry has lovely people in it, but the baggage that comes with it, I stayed away from that very consciously. I chose to, and I still choose to, lead a very middle class life in whatever I do. I have not allowed myself to surround myself with yes men. I have not allowed myself to wear fancy clothes. I have kept myself completely in the zone of being middle class and my values, which is why when you're surrounded, to answer your question, when you're surrounded by alcohol and when you're surrounded by people who consume substances, I choose to stay away because I got scared. And I said, I worked so hard to come to where I have. I can't lose all that by just falling over the line. And I stepped on this side, and I've always watched the world from this side. The best example I can give you is I wake up at 4:30 in the morning. That's where most of my industry people come home. So it's a matter of choice. I'm not saying what they're doing is wrong. It's their lifestyle. They've chosen that lifestyle. My lifestyle is very different. And I enjoy my space. I like being in an informal space. I like meeting people, I like touch and feel. Like I love to hang out with you guys, chat with you guys in a very informal session and enjoy, and that's the way I like to lead my life, and it's kept me in a good place, and I'm very happy right now.
In a space which is so blessed, a slice of paradise. Shillong has been the hub of education for many years, and today, when you look at our proficiency in English, when you look at the number of communities you can interact with, it's a really world. And we were just talking with John before we step into this room, that the AQI of Shillong is something that you get to breathe for free. And if you could see the rising number of tourists coming up to the hills, it's also partly because of the rising temperatures across mainland India. With these opportunities, with an academy of football coming up, with the country's biggest stadium coming up in Shillong, with the corridor that links Silchar, Guwahati and Silchar passing via Meghalaya, and with the huge investments that the state government is making in the social sector, and especially in youth-related sector, I can say with confidence that you are poised for a future brighter than the sun. We didn't have the opportunities that you would have today. But when I was at the university at Nehu, in the Department of English, we were ranked one of the top 10 departments in the country. That is something that we have to regain, and therefore I can say with a lot of pride, I'll tell you that when I was sports minister and the winning team was St. Peter's School, I asked each of the cricketers their address. 8 of the entire team were from Dhaka. That's Shillong. So, of course, that's not saying that everything is honky-dory. There's so much more to be done, but I'd like you to be part of the success story. There can never be a government versus you. We all are in this together. Make sure that you are an asset contributing to the growth trajectory of Meghalaya. Thank you.